Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Renee Box Young. Thanks so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, showing your support, tuning into lives, the flash lives, collaborating with me there. We just had a wonderful panel the other day, in a flash live out of nowhere, man. I just do things sometimes spontaneously. Sometimes, things are best done when they're done spontaneously, definitely, maybe not all the time, but sometimes, So I spontaneously put a link in the chat. And man, panel jumped in, family, great community. I love to hear from you. Definitely. When I say I love to hear from you, I mean it. So I really appreciate you all for collaborating with me, in the chat sections of the lives. Tuning in premiere videos, the live premieres in real time. Also, I just appreciate each and every one of you, those who comment in the comment sections of the videos, who put the emojis there, showing that they tuned in. All those little things, man. I just appreciate it. Supporters, everybody, subscribers since day one, recent subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen, queens, kings, and queens. That's what I'm talking about. Renee Box Young is simply a platform where we discuss, critique, analyze, and simply talk about sport of boxing in a level-headed, mature, fashion. That's how we do it here, man. We don't complicate life. We just love sport of boxing. If you love the sport of boxing, go ahead and subscribe if you're a new listener. It's as simple as that. Hit the notification bell so you know when I, shoot my videos out. When I do my premieres, when I go live, when I do my flash lives, etc., etc. I'm constantly pushing content, constantly. And it's just, we're doing new things here, man. It's just as simple as that. We keep it simple, open-minded to everybody. We're a mature platform here. We don't play games. There's no time for child's play. That's what I'm talking about. It's as simple as that. We're doing new things here, and thankfully to you, it's growing. So, man, I got to get to this, and I want to, speak my mind concerning Gervonta Tank Davis. His next fight is against Mario Barrios, right, at 140. First fight at 140, from what I understand him. I've been following Tank Davis for a long time, and fighting at 140, first fight there. And I want to talk about some certain possible, things that he'll be doing at 140 after Mario Barrios. But first, I do want to talk about a couple points in this video. First, I want to talk about that, Gervonta Tank Davis, man, he definitely seems focused, okay? We got to understand, generally speaking, he has gotten, to a certain degree, a reputation of being undisciplined. And I've talked about it several times. And we all know the story, struggling and making weight in certain fights or what have you, and, the promotional company or whatever, people in charge of the event, they would give him a couple hours to lose a couple pounds or whatever, right? It's happened before, and I really didn't like that, as a fan of the sport of boxing when it comes to professional etiquette, and protocol when it comes to fighters and what fighters should do. And not only that, but, Tank Davis, Gervonta Tank Davis, he has had that reputation of, outside the ring, just living a wild life, generally speaking. I'm not saying recently. I'm just giving a general outline concerning, to gear us and to guide us towards what I want to talk about, but we got to understand the background. So he's been known for that, he's been known for that. And we understand, man, that Gervonta Tank Davis has catapulted in his career ever since he at a young age. Everybody's different. Everybody matures different. Differently. Everybody grows differently. And it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and say Gervonta. I don't deny his skills. He's a really talented fighter. I remember going back. When you go back to, I like to highlight this fight in particular. A lot of people think that Gervonta Tank Davis is only a knockout artist. People that really don't know when it comes to sport of boxing or follow fighters. Generally speaking, a lot of people think, and community think maybe that, Gervonta Tank Davis is only a knockout fighter. He only knocks you out and, it's game over, next opponent. Who's he going to knock out next? That's the concept that a lot of people have concerning Gervonta Tank Davis, but I don't have that concept. You can even check my channel out, when I make videos or when I talk about Gervonta Tank Davis, I don't only talk about that. It's not common at all, really, when I talk about Gervonta Tank Davis and when I mention him just knocking people out all the time. Because that's not what I look at in a fight. When it comes to fights, when it comes to me as a boxing fan, man, just loving the sport, when I watch a fight, I love to see all the ins and outs and what fighters do in the ring. For example, when I used to watch basketball, NBA, I didn't only watch the person, the NBA player with a ball. I would watch the team and what types of games, the game plan they would have, and what plays they would go, through that they would execute on court. I wouldn't just see the guy with the ball. You see what I'm saying? Most people, generally speaking, or fans of the sport of basketball, they only see the person with the ball. Or in football, the same thing. When I used to watch it all the time, and I've said it time and time again that I don't watch the sports anymore. I don't have time, man. I love the sport of boxing, and I've just I watch that more than anything. It's rare that I watch basketball or football anymore because I really don't have the time. And I love the sports, but I just prefer boxing over all the sports. You know what I'm saying? Most sports and BKFC I like to watch, but most people look at the ball, the person with the ball. Most people look at the quarterback with the football until he throws it to whoever, the receiver or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To the running back or whatever. But when I used to watch the NBA, watch basketball and football, I would look at all the other players too. And I would try to predict who's going to throw, who's going to pass the ball to, what's he going to do? I see, the running back is coming from behind. He's going to do this. Or here comes a sack. I look at the lineman and there's going to be a sack. Watch out, and I look at all those little things. And when it comes to the sport of boxing, I do the same thing, man. I don't just look and wait for the knockout. I look on how they're setting up the knockout. I look at how they use the jab. I look at the defensive skills that fighters bring into the ring. I look at their eyes. Where are they looking? You know what I'm saying? I look at, their footwork. I look at the distance they have between their opponent. You know what I'm saying? The fighter has between his opponent. I look at, how he fights on the inside, how often he clinches. I look at the referee. Is the referee cutting a lot of slack? Is the referee just giving slaps on the hand and saying, don't rabbit punch, don't rabbit punch, don't rabbit punch, don't rabbit punch after every round, in every round, and doesn't take points off? I look at everything, man. You see, that's the beauty of the sport of boxing. That's what I would like to, foment and augment, and people who tune in. Look at those little peculiarities, those little things, in the sport of boxing, and it makes it just much more amazing. It makes it a lot more amazing, and that's where we understand the sport of boxing is really a science. In my trailer, in my video, I'm saying I got a trailer. Check it out. It's a trailer, an introduction to my channel. I say that the sport of boxing is an art. It is. It's just beautiful. It's a wonderful portrait, of what's painted in the ring. It's beautiful. I love it. So I say this because when I see Gervonta Tank Davis in particular boxing, I don't see him, who's he gonna knock out next? He's gonna knock this guy out. I don't really focus on that. I focus on how he fights his fighters, his opponents. You know what I'm saying? The skills that he's bringing, what kind of performance he brings before the knockout. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say this is because when you go back, I like to highlight this fight. When you go back to a fighter he fought, I think he's from Mexico, Tijuana or something like that. I really don't remember, but his name is El Borrego in Spanish. That's his nickname, El Borrego. He had it on his white trunks, if I'm not mistaken, in big letters, El Borrego, something like that. And I remember very clearly. I remember on Blue Blood. Shouts out to my guy Blue Blood, man, love him. Family over there. He invited me some time ago. We were talking. Sometimes he would invite people on the panel, and one of those days he invited me, and we were talking about Gervonta Tank Davis, and I mentioned this fight. I talked about this fight, and I referenced it, saying this, what I'm saying right now, that a lot of people think that, Gervonta Tank Davis is just a knockout artist, but when you go back, to several of his fights, several of Gervonta Tank Davis fights, you see he has a really high IQ, man, when it comes to boxing, man. He can box. You go back to the Borrego fight when he fought this guy, taller guy also. You see, that's another thing. A lot of people talking about, Mario Barrios is a bigger guy, he's a taller guy, whatever. I mean, Gervonta Tank Davis is used to that. Kind of reminds me of Canelo. Canelo's used to fighting taller guys. It's nothing new. It's just another day in the office for these guys. They know how to fight short, beautifully, man. They know what to do because they got high ring IQ. So that's what Gervonta Tank Davis has. So Borrego, El Borrego, he was a taller guy. The reach, if I'm not mistaken, was definitely, a lot more than Gervonta Tank Davis in that fight. And I remember that fight clearly because the referee was like a woman who had her hair dyed purple or something like that. It's interesting. But that fight sticks out to me because that's one of in the early stages when I started seeing Gervonta Tank Davis box. It was years ago. I was like, wow, man, this kid got some real skills, man. He really got some skills, and beautiful defensive skills, shoulder roll. I'm not saying he's Mayweather, of course not, but these elements and tools that he uses in the ring make him a high IQ fighter. That's what I'm trying to say here. His footwork, the defense on the inside. He fought on the inside wonderfully. He calculates his punches to a certain degree where he doesn't waste his punches. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't waste his punches. He doesn't just punch to punch. He knows where to land them. He does it in a very skilled fashion. I mean, that's what's beautiful about watching Tank Davis. I love watching him fight. I love watching this kid box, man. This young man, whatever, right? I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just, I'm a Gervonta Tank Davis fan, man. I'm not saying I'm a man fan. I'm saying I'm a Gervonta Tank Davis fan, man. Yeah, I just love this guy, man. Now, I think that, his previous performances, for example, we'll go back just a little bit, when he fought Gamboa. I think that he could have performed better, but at that time, it wasn't that disciplined. That's the thing, guys, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, that, Gervonta Tank Davis, I think personally, he could have performed better in certain fights had he been more disciplined. Had he been more disciplined, I think he would have performed a lot better, even though, considering the types of performances he has given in the ring, which are amazing, have been amazing, he was living an undisciplined life, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? This is all leading up to what I want to say now. This is the point I want to really, get at everyone. You know what I'm saying? To make it hit home and really have us anticipate and appreciate what Gervonta Tank Davis is doing in his career and what he's bringing in the sport of boxing. In the lead up to the Leo Santa Cruz fight, he was more disciplined. He was more focused. And in that context, we know outside the ring, I don't remember when it was, if it was in the lead up to Leo Santa Cruz fight or after, whatever. He had a hit and run incident. I think it was before the fight. I went live talking about it. And I was thinking, you know what, this guy ain't changing, man. What's up with this dude, But, things happen. I think, this is what I'm trying to say. I think he's learned a lot ever since then. I think that was his last straw, okay? You can go back and check out all the things he's gotten into in trouble. He's gotten into a lot of trouble and, just living that street life or whatever you want to call it. I mean, but I think this, accident, the hit and run thing, whatever issue that he had in the streets, I think it was in Baltimore too. I think it was around the time of the Leo Santa Cruz fight. I just don't remember when it was, if it was before or after, but I think that was the last straw, man. I think that was an experience for him to say, you know what, I got to stop doing what I'm doing. And I think that Mayweather really reprimanded him as an OG, as a mentor, whatever you want to call him, right? His promoter, blah, blah, blah. He's several things to Gervonta Tank Davis in his life, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to, figures in Gervonta Tank Davis' life, it seems like Floyd Mayweather is several figures to Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that, Mayweather really did his work behind the scenes, saying to Gervonta Tank Davis, hey, bro, you really got to wake up now. This is time to stop and blah, 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 whatever. And I think it really did help Gervonta Tank Davis shape up, okay? I really do think it did. I mean, right now, he's going through the ramifications. It's not really public anymore as far as him in the court cases and blah, 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 what he has to do, whatever, right? Facing charges. I personally think that, he's going to have good lawyers or whatever to take care of that business. You know what I'm saying? But my point in all this is I think he's a lot more mature, man. I think, he's a lot more focused. He's a lot more focused. Excuse me, I'm drinking my coffee here. I think, he is a lot more focused now. And he's been focused ever since the Santa Cruz fight and the lead up to that. Why? After the Leo Santa Cruz fight, man, after the beautiful knockout, after the fight with the black eye, a couple days later, he was back in the gym. He was right back at it. Now, in the lead up to this fight, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I want to get at here. Watch this. It to me it seems like, because Gervonta Tank Davis, he's one of those guys that likes to post a lot on social media. He's one of those guys. Okay, it's fine, whatever. That's his thing. He likes to post pictures a lot, so you can kind of tell that he hasn't had a weight issue. You all know when Gervonta Tank Davis was really undisciplined back in, before, when I was talking about that earlier, he was blowing up in weight, man. He was getting huge. It was ridiculous in my humble opinion. He was just really going up there in weight, according to the division he fought in. It was crazy, which is why he had problems making weight. Okay, so, but now, this is what I'm saying here. Ever since the Leo Santa Cruz fight to now, and before that, he really, it seems like he hasn't had a problem with weight, man. This boy's in shape. I feel that if he doesn't screw up again, or if, he doesn't get back to his old ways, which I don't really see it, but who knows, right? But hopefully not. From now on, ladies and gentlemen, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. From now on, this guy's going to be unstoppable, man. He has Coach, Calvin Ford. I mean, a lot of people are ignoring Coach Calvin. Coach Calvin's a great coach for Gervonta Tank Davis, man. Gervonta Tank Davis, I think from now on he's understanding, and he comprehends the fortunate situation that he's in via hard work. He's been boxing since he was a little kid, man. He understands the fortunate situation that he's in via hard work, through hard work that he has put in for years and years and years. He sees he has a wonderful coach who has really, guided Tank in the ring. I don't know about outside the ring. Maybe I don't know. But, he has Floyd Mayweather. He has Ellerby. He has, the best people in the game, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know where you want. I don't do that stuff. I don't do the ranking thing. Oh, yeah, he's #1 coach in the world. And I don't do all that stuff, man. Whatever. But I do definitely recognize and take my hats off, man. Hats off to the coaches who really, produce, man. And you can see Coach Calvin, really, you can see his work, the results in Tank Davis. He's really teaching Tank Davis wonderful things, man. We really got to, take our hats off to Coach Calvin. What I'm saying? He has Floyd Mayweather. I think that, Tank Davis is at the point where he's like, I'm not gonna throw what I got away, man. I got everything that, I need to catapult my career, blah, 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 right? So I think Gervonta Tank Davis is really focused now. And I reiterate, you go to his social media, man, I mean, he's been in shape, man. This guy has been in shape, ladies and gentlemen. This is what leads me to believe, man, this boy is going to be unstoppable. He's going to be unstoppable, man. So, I mean, the opponents he's going to face, watch the heck out. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's going to fight at 140. I want to show you something. Link in the description, box.live.com, whatever, etc., etc. Link in the description, you check it out, okay? Box.live, yeah. So we're going to check it out, 140. Everybody knows Taylor Ramirez, and I think that, the winner of Taylor Ramirez, by the time you watch this video, they probably already fought, whatever, right? It just depends on the time frame that you watch this video. We have, obviously, Taylor Ramirez, that bout for undisputed. Now, the question I have is this, and I can really care less about it. I'm just going to give a little mention on it. You see here Mario Barrios, he's Josh Taylor. What's going on here? That's why I don't care about these stupid, sometimes, man, these just weird, confusing, rankings and whatever. Sometimes they're just foolish, man. I'm sorry. That's just my humble opinion. How can you have, okay, what is this? Is this an error from the website? Josh Taylor, okay, WBA world super lightweight. Mario Barrios, world super, they're two super lightweights? I think they made a mistake, and I think Mario Barrios is the regular, right? I think that's what it is. I can care less, and who the heck cares, okay? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just going to speak my mind, whatever. So, my point in saying this is that, okay, Tank Davis is going to fight Mario Barrios at 140. Josh Taylor, Ramirez, they're going to fight for undisputed. And by the time you watch this video, they fought, and we have a winner, whoever it is. Obviously, this video is before, okay, the fight. So, I don't think, this is what I'm saying, I don't think that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to go back down, man. I don't think he's going to go back down to, the other divisions, 130, 135. Excuse me, I'm drinking my water. We can forget 130. 135, I don't think so. I don't think, Teofimo's not going to fight Tank Davis. I'm sorry. I just don't feel it. I don't think he is. Or it's not too much about emotions. It's about, just being logical, you know what I'm saying? And seeing how things are played out. And seeing the direction of fighters. If he does, awesome. But I hope he does, But I don't think Teofimo's going to fight Tank Davis, man. Maybe Haney. According to Teofimo lately, whatever interview with Berto, I think Berto's doing some program now, kind of like Mike Tyson hotboxing, whatever. That's awesome. But he interviewed him. I didn't have time to check it out, but I heard some little quick highlights, whatever, right? Teofimo saying that he wants to fight Haney and shut him up or whatever they talked about. Okay, so, but my point is here is that Teofimo, he wants to fight Haney after Kambosos, apparently. But other than that, I don't think Teofimo's gonna fight Tank Davis, man. Maybe he'll fight Haney, maybe. But Tank, who knows? I mean, that would be a mega fight. Everybody knows the story there. But I'm just trying to be realistic here, Now, so Tank Davis, man, maybe he'll go down to 135 again. I don't know, but I doubt it. This is what I'm trying to say here. I think that, Gervonta Tank Davis, after fighting Mario Barrios, if he wins, it's always an if. I think he will win, okay? Respect to Mario Barrios. I'll do a breakdown as we get closer to the fight, whatever. But, why do I think he'll beat him too is because, like I was saying earlier, Gervonta Tank Davis is really focused. And with his skill set, it's just, and with his power too, those are just really dangerous combinations for opponents. Those are just I don't know how you can go around that, you know what I'm saying? But if he beats Mario Barrios, here's what I think is going to happen. This is the second point I want to talk about in this video. That Taylor, obviously, I made a video months, plural, months ago. I've heard people barely mention it, but you check it out on my channel. It's somewhere there, talking about Taylor wanting to fight Bud Crawford or something like that at 147. So it's possible that Taylor, after getting undisputed, or if he wins, okay, let me get to the if. If he wins, undisputed 140 maybe. But who knows? Ramirez is he's a really tough opponent. They're both amazing champs. You know what I'm saying? If Taylor wins at 140, gets undisputed, Tank is most likely going to go. I think that's the direction they're going for, ladies and gentlemen. Tank Davis, undisputed at 140. Big possibility. I think that's what they're going for. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Mayweather is not an idiot, okay? I mean, let's just be factual. People may want to criticize, you can't read. But yeah, whatever. He's a freaking smart guy, okay? He knows what he's doing. He's an expert. He knows what he's doing, man. He's not an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather is a really intelligent man. Floyd. He knows. He reads between the lines. He sees the things that are going on. He knows Taylor has 2 belts. He knows Ramirez has a belt, some belts, whatever. They're going to fight for undisputed. And whoever comes out winner, checks out, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever comes out winning, Floyd Mayweather, I think, is going to direct Tank Davis to fight that winner to get undisputed, man, at 140. You see? We got to see the bigger picture, man. A lot of people talking about, which I would love to see, but ni modo. That's how we say it in Spanish. Ni modo. Oh, well, man. Ni modo. Oh, well, whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here crying over spilt milk. I've said it 100 times, We would love to see Tank Davis versus Haney. We would love to see Tank Davis versus Teofimo. We would love to see Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, yeah, whatever. You know the story there. Whatever. Step aside, man. Whatever. All due respect, but whatever. That's not going to happen, most likely, ladies and gentlemen. Just being realistic here. The more realistic thing I see is going to happen, man, is Gervonta Tank Davis is going to stay at 140 if he beats Barrios. If things go according to plan. Mayweather knew this. He knew this months ago. Which is why, after Leo Santa Cruz, Mayweather, I'm sure he planned it before. He's like, you know what? We're going to move you up to 140 because, you can go for that undisputed. You can go for that undisputed title. You see what I'm saying? Mayweather knows what he's doing. Imagine the accolade there, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine the accolade of getting undisputed 140. Tank Davis moving it to 140. Getting that whatever the heck title Mario Barrios has, with all due respect. Foolish decisions these sanctioning bodies do with 5 belts in each division, however many belts there are. But it's nonsense. 5 belts in each sanctioning body. You know what I'm saying? It's just nonsense. Whatever. But imagine the accolade, ladies and gentlemen, if he beats Barrios and then goes for undisputed at 140. If Taylor wins and gets undisputed, he'll most likely move up to 147. I'm not sure if he'll defend all those titles at 140. You got Regis Prograis. You got some tough names there, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? You also got Regis Prograis. You know, Postal. Let me just show you this real quick, man. You got Postal. I don't know. No, I don't even think Postal's going to be boxing much longer, man. I mean, Postal not, But you got Prograis. Tough guy right there. Easter, he's a decent opponent. I'm not saying he's nothing. He's a decent opponent. So, but that's what I think is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. If Ramirez wins, if Ramirez beats Taylor and gets undisputed, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's been said, Tank Davis, they always do, he always fights the Latin guys, Mexican, Chicano, whatever you want to call them, you know what I'm saying? Why do I say whatever you want to call them? I say it because it's a whole another issue there, half Mexican, born in Mexico or born in the United States, you're a Chicano, whatever. It seems like, and a community has said it, he seems like he only fights the Latin fighters. Yeah, of course he's fought, African-American Ekis, whatever, right? Et cetera, et cetera. But, it's, people have talked about that, said that about Tank. So, imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if Ramirez beats Taylor, I don't think of Ramirez, who knows? I haven't heard, at least, him talking about moving up to 147. So, it's possible, ladies and gentlemen, big possibility, I see this happening, that Tank, Mayweather's going to guide Tank to go for that undisputed title, man, at 140. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Maybe go down to 135, fight T.O. or Haney. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. It's possible, though. But I see this more possible and probable. You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? See what I'm saying? See, we get the bigger picture now, you see? I know he's going to get criticized or whatever, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We can't change things, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's great. I think it's great. It's kind of like the situation with Herring, right? Herring just fought Frampton, beat him in a wonderful fashion, man. Beautiful. I ate crow a couple times lately, man. I thought Frampton's going to win, but whatever, right? Hats off to Herring. Great win. Beautiful skills. Kind of like that situation. It's like, what did you do? Like, he was ordered by the WBO, whatever the heck, right? To fight Shakur Stevenson after Shakur Stevenson's fight this Nakatili guy, right? And Herring, though, opted for Oscar Valdez for that WBC belt. It's like, what do? You know what I'm saying? He'd get criticized if you do this and that. I prefer him fighting Shakur. So, Shakur has the skills and skill set to bring a wonderful fight against Herring. I think Shakur beats Herring, but if he opts for Valdez also, hey, that's cool. That's cool. That would be a great fight too. So it's like, one thing or the other. And that's the thing with Tank Davis. It's like one thing or the other, you know what I'm saying? And I feel and I think that's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And if Taylor, this is what I'm getting back to. Okay, so if Taylor wins, if he beats undisputed, whatever, gets undisputed title, whatever, at 140, and if he moves up to 147, them titles are going to be vacant. Most likely, Tank Davis is going to go for them vacant titles. WBC, all these ABC freaking titles, right? So I think that's what Tank Davis is going to do. If Taylor moves up to 147 looking for a Crawford or whatever names, y'all know the names at 147. Like I said before, man, there's going to be changes at 147, you know what I'm saying? But Taylor, if he moves up to 147 looking for legacy, seeking for legacy, which a lot of these fighters are not doing, ladies and gentlemen. And it's sad how there's not too much emphasis on Taylor and, Ramirez and whatever. But if he moves up to 147 looking for legacy, those belts are going to be vacant, and Tank's going to go grab them. That most likely it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Most likely that's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong, right? But I don't know, man. It just seems like that's what's going to happen. So, hey, what do you think is going to happen next for Tank Davis, man, after Barrios? So what do you think is the objective? What's going on with Tank at 140? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I love it, man. I love it. So, Renee Box Young. Platform we simply discuss, critique, analyze, simply talk about sport of boxing. Hit the notification bell, man, so you know when I go live, when I do my flash lives, when I do my premieres, so you can go ahead and collaborate, tune in. I want to hear you guys, comment in the comment section of this video if you go to the playback after this. Okay, so thank you so much, man. I love you. Thanks so much, each and every one of you subscribers since day one, recent subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Stay safe, fam. Peace.